because I had some what I thought was clever things in my mind. Well, I don't know how smart they are, but at least things that I wanted to update you guys on. That's why I wanted to have this live today. It's 8:20 p.m. a random time here in Spain on a Thursday evening. I'm 30 days into my stay here, my extended stay here in Spain in the middle of winter. And why am I here? For those of you who don't know, I'm here because I wanted to reduce all the noise, limit all the distractions in my life, just focus on Signal. And right now, Signal is work, work, work. I'm in the process of building my coaching and consulting business, creating content online. And I wanted to get rid of all the distractions, say no to all of that stuff, which unfortunately included my own kids. And I came here just to be able to focus on my work, train, eat, sleep, and work and repeat. That's all I've been doing. And I'm, like I said, 30 days in. I wanted to provide this update before I head back home next week. And just to let you guys know what my findings are and what I've been doing over the last week or so. So, first and foremost, the reason why I came here, like I said, I wanted to focus on work, but also I wanted to run this test platform or experiment, if you will, when it comes to me doing what I preach to my clients about. And that literally is one of those so-called super hacks in life, which is as simple as delete everything. So 90% of the stuff in your life is complete noise, complete bullshit, and your job is to make sure that you say no first. Most of the people in life, they keep adding. You have 13 items on your plate. You want to get in shape, grow your company, or improve your relationship with your wife. What do? You add stuff. You keep all the existing stuff. It's like having 10 sweaters in your closet, and then you all of a sudden realize that all of these are out of fashion. I need four new ones. What do? Do you keep the existing 10 and add four? Now you have 14. Or do you try to get rid of at least five and then replace some of them? You know what I mean? So your total number of sweaters is maybe seven or eight instead of 10, and you actually find the good ones better. So you reduce clutter, reduce complexity so that you can see things clearly. You can actually prioritize to say yes to the stuff that truly matters. That's why I'm here. And like I said, I've been talking about this to my or with my own clients all the time. And the number one advice I tell everybody is that, okay, depending on what you want to do in life, let's say it's improving your life, get in shape, grow your company, improve your relationship, whatever the thing is, it's always usually that you have to see things clearly first. What is it that you want? Be super clear on that. Not what your neighbor wants, not what your family wants, but what is important to you, what applies to you. Collecting information alone is not very useful unless you know how to apply that in your life. That's the same thing as saying 90%, saying no to 90% of the stuff in your life so that you can say yes to the stuff that truly matters. And like I said, pretty much in every single case, as far as we want to achieve something in life, the number one step is to know what truly matters to you. And then right after that, you keep saying no. You keep deleting like there's no tomorrow. You don't add anything. Like I said, most of us keep adding stuff like there's no tomorrow, but that's not your job. Your job is to keep saying no. Okay. And like I said, that's why I came here. I wanted to see how I perform in this environment because even though I've lived abroad in several countries before, uh, this is the longest I've stayed in Spain. Of course, I know I like it here. I like the people. I like the weather. And I know every time I hop on a plane that I can see things clearly. And I knew this time would not be no different. But still, I wanted to see what kind of an impact this could have and would have on my life. And it's been dramatic. I give you examples. So every day, like I said, I wake up around 7 o'clock. I eat my breakfast. I start working right away. The only things on my plate are I just have to eat breakfast. I have to go to the gym. I have to come back, work, eat, work, eat, work, and then go to bed. That's all I do. Occasionally, I go to a grocery store. I get lunch somewhere, but for the most part, it's extremely simple life. I don't go sunbathing. I don't go to the beach other than just walking occasionally there, enjoying the weather and the scenery. But other than that, I just focus on the things that truly matter right now, the things that move the ball forward. And it's just this sounds probably super simple and overly simple and maybe naive, but really, believe me, the thing is to reduce complexity. And all good things, all good business ideas are simple. Everything in life is simple. We just make it hard. It's simple and easy are not the same thing. Life is simple but not easy. We want it easy, which makes it complicated. And like I said, that's what I wanted to do, what I did, and it's been good. My vanity metrics are still down as far as my videos and my engagement goes, but I hope that's going to improve at some point. But right now, what truly matters is that I've been able to get better. I can see that, and hopefully that translates into something concrete when it comes to more engagement, more views, and then more clients going forward. But that's the reason why I've been doing that, because it's those little distractions in your daily life, doing laundry, going to the grocery store, handling all that stuff, which is called life, which is normal. That's we need to have that, obviously, because we wanted it in to begin with. But the thing is that when there's too much of that, and when we don't see the forest anymore, we just look at individual trees. That's when it gets hard. And one of the most underrated abilities in life is to take a complex picture and be able to simplify it and see, okay, out of all of these things that seem relevant right now, what is truly relevant? And then I just say yes to that and say no to everything else. And I think that's such a secret weapon and the best productivity hack ever. So if you're ever stuck in life, hop on a plane, change the circumstances, change the behavior. Because that way, automatically, if you have hard time saying no at home, when you travel, you automatically say no to stuff. And that's why many people are so much happier on vacation. Of course, different environment, better weather, nice food, different people. But I think the one underlying reason why that happens is that when we hop on a plane, when we change that environment, we automatically say no to the so-called everyday stuff. That's very distracting for us, especially for our productivity. It's okay. I mean, if people want to do laundry, if people want to go and chase that cheapest gallon of milk and drive to the other side of town, that's fine. Or cook their own meals and do all of that stuff. That's perfectly fine if that's your thing. But if you really want to get exceptional results, I think the only way is to really ruthlessly say no to pretty much everything and just focus on one thing, because it takes an unreal amount of time to get good at something in life. So that was the update number one. And other than that, I've been publishing videos pretty much every other day. I'm now in this rhythm where I try to do one long form video every other day. I'm talking about YouTube now, where I'm right now. And then cut some shorts out of that. That's my create attention agenda, where I try to get better as a content creator, make sure that the things that I talk about, I can deliver my message in a more precise and more effective manner. And that's one of the reasons why I do these as well, by the way, just to get practice for my own videos and hopefully deliver value. Because I talked to one of my clients today, and he asked me a very good question, what I would say $1 million question, about what are the things in my life that I'm super passionate about, that I call my unique edge, or that feels like play to me, but looks like work to others. Because that's really, I think, one of the key differentiators between people who have jobs and people who work as a hobby, so to say. And I think if everybody could find that one thing that they really love and are passionate about, I think our productivity would be here, happiness would be here instead of here, because you don't really need a break. I maybe call me naive, maybe call me silly or stupid, but I use myself as an example. I would be preaching about stuff, lecturing about stuff, and trying to pass on my personal learnings in life to you guys and whoever wants to listen and watch, even if I got no money for this. Honestly, I like this. I love this. This is my thing. And I think that one thing or those things are for everybody out there. It's just a matter of having enough courage to find it, so that you don't let fear dictate what you do. Which is kind of a segue to my point about the video that I made a few days ago about this. So there are a lot of people, whether it's corporate life or business life, who on paper are successful. They have a good job, okay money, and people on the outside think that everything is fine and perfect. But when these people are alone, they feel empty inside. And I think that number one problem in that case is that these people have been chasing what they think they should chase. And they forgot to ask themselves, What is it that truly matters? What work feels like play to me, but looks like work to others? You know what I mean? So it's like, did I find that thing that feels like play to me? What's that thing that I would be doing if I get no money for it? What do I find myself naturally doing when I have an extra 2 hours to spend? That's the thing I'm talking about. And I think we all obviously would do that in a heartbeat if we didn't have mortgages, if we didn't have kids to feed, and if we didn't have all these obligations in life. So that's really the dilemma, the chicken and egg. So how can you jump into something that's completely uncertain and unknown? And I think then we come into one of my favorite topics about fear, how that's stopping us from doing everything, pretty much everything in life. I'm intentionally oversimplifying this thing. I know it's not that easy, but it's possible. I've done that myself. I didn't come from money. All I came from was basically good work ethic and good principles about go ahead and do it. A support system from my family side. And if I look back at myself, I've been building this outcome or end result ever since I was 18 or 19 years old. I pretty much at that point decided that I'm going to live life on my own terms. I didn't write it down anywhere. No, I wasn't that type of a person, but deep down, I understood that I had to do hard things in order to get something done in life. And if I look back now, I've been carving my own path ever since. My mom keeps telling me that, look, you were exceptionally clear on what you want to do ever since you were 18 or 19. You knew like 100% this was your way, and this is, I don't want that, I want this. And right now, when I'm 49, so like fast forward 30 years, I look at where I am right now, where I'm basically able to do what I want. I can work remotely from here. Of course, my kids are in another country right now. I go back and see them in a bit. But uh, ever since ever since I started as a full-time entrepreneur, I have not. I don't feel like I've worked a day in my life. Living a dream has been the thing. It's been super hard at times, like unbearably hard on my personal, in my personal life and in business life. But still, it's been the greatest journey ever. And I don't feel like working. I don't do anything that I don't fully enjoy in life. That's what I keep telling other people. That look, some people. There was this lady I dated for a little bit, and she said that, look, you feel like this type of a guy who's like always hunting or like looking for that next thing and keeps moving the goalpost, and you always kind of like you're obsessed. That's the term she used. I was like, yeah, okay. So it's like, do you ever enjoy your life? I'm like, you're completely missing the big picture. I only do those things that I enjoy. I don't go to the gym because I hate it, because I have to. I deeply enjoy that. When I don't train, I think about training. I think about my next workout. I think about how I could prioritize or improve certain techniques or have a better form and technique in my next exercise or workout. And even though I understand my limitations and significant progress or improvement is probably not that realistic anymore at my age, I still think I can fine tune and find small improvements here and there. But that's really my thing. I want to just live life to the fullest and make sure that I get to do the stuff that I truly enjoy. So, working out, fitness is one of those things. And then doing what I do now, talking about my life, passing on the experience, and being able to lecture or preach or just help others is one of those things too. And I think life, if you think about it, the purpose of life for everybody is basically such. If you so picture this gas tank. So you have this whatever thing, a tractor or a car or snowmobile, and it has a gas tank. Like you put gasoline in it. And at the bottom of that tank, there's a hole. So you go to the gas station and you ask your friend to fill up. And he or she keeps putting gasoline in your tank, and it's like, why isn't this thing going up at all? I've been doing this for like forever. Well, it's because we have a hole here. I think that's the purpose of life, where you just like the gasoline going in is basically your life experience, the input, so to say. And the stuff coming out is you passing on those learnings. And the gas tank is the process, it's called life. So inputs going in, so that's the life that happens on your watch, so to say, experiences and lessons. They go into the tank called life, and then they come out, which is you passing it on. So I think if that's the case, if somebody shares the idea with me, then it's a two-step process. First, you have to be very selfish in a good way to collect the learning so that you can get better. And obviously that's a process that never ends. So you get better. It's like this never ending process. So you are obsessed about getting better and improving every day. And then once you can process the learnings and the lessons, then you pass them on. Because at the end of the day, when you punch a ticket, when you're out of time, there's no point holding on to any of those lessons or learnings. Why wouldn't you pass those on to your kids or to somebody else or a complete stranger? So building a legacy. That's why I started preaching about this stuff too. I've always been passionate about sharing my opinions. Ever since I was, I don't know, middle school or high school, or if you ask my teachers if they remember me, they would be like, yeah, that's the guy who always had an opinion. He was obsessed about expressing his opinions. I still feel that I'm the same way, and that's one of the reasons why I keep lecturing. And if you see me being passionate here in these videos, that's the reason, because I am truly passionate. So I didn't expect a large audience. This was just unannounced, but wanted to hop on a call and just do something after X number of days, give you an update on my Spain journey of 30 days, and then set the stage for the next one. So I'm going to have another video coming out tomorrow about what I did when I got divorced and felt super lonely, like real talk type of a video. So everybody who's suffering from the same thing and feels like this is the end of the world, I guarantee you it's not. So watch my video tomorrow. It's going to come out at some point, probably towards the end of the day. But other than that, that's all I had on my mind. Another rant on my channel. So if you enjoyed these, do me a favor, comment on what you learned from this or what you would like to maybe hear me talk about later. What kind of video topics would be of interest to you? I'm all ears. I'm all ears. With that, this is going to be short and sweet, 17 minutes. I got this thing off my chest. I appreciate the opportunity. And I'll try to have another one before I hop on a plane, which is on Monday. And stay tuned. More shorts, more long form videos every day. So let's keep in touch. The big purpose here is to live life without zero regrets at 90. So that's all. Thanks for joining, listening, and watching. And I'll talk to you again in the next video. Thanks.